Life can be sad and depressing right now, so how about we have a little fun? Let's do a Dave Rubin clip. This is shared here by the Surfs. They're on Twitch. Fantastic show on Twitch. Check out twitch.tv/thesurfstv, SERFS. They posted this Dave Rubin clip to Twitter, and it I'm already laughing before seeing it because I'm remembering it in my brain. Here's Dave Rubin. I'm not even going to give you context. Just here's the clip, and we are going to discuss this.
What is virtue? Every movie that you love, think of your favorite movie right now. Think of the great adventure movies of all time. Luke Skywalker didn't look for someone else to blow up the Death Star. He went ahead and did it. You know what I mean? Frodo didn't be like, oh, where's the ring? Where's the ring? Could somebody take this ring and get it to Mordor and drop it in the thing for me? No, he did it. He didn't just sit there as the victim. It's everything. Neo. What did Neo do? You know what Neo did.
All right. My God. This is so wrong. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to give a little tribute here to our fallen comrade, Michael Brooks, who passed recently. He did the best videos on Dave Rubin, and I think I can speak for him here in what his reaction would be to this clip. That is the famous Michael Brooks laugh. Very deserving. This is completely absurd. So Dave Rubin's entire ideology, or lack thereof, Dave Rubin has no ideology, but what he tries to sell people is the power is in the individual. It's in the individual. It's all about individual personal responsibility. You don't rely on other people. It's all about the individual. Just look at the great movies like Star Wars. What? Luke Skywalker was with a bunch of other people taking down the Death Star. It wasn't just him. I'm also going to get some reactions here from the Surfs thread that their responses, I think, are even better than mine, as you're going to see. But clearly, Star Wars is not about the individual. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring. That's about just Frodo and just what he did and did it alone? Are you out of your mind? Are you completely insane? He can't even get movies right. Dave Rubin is so completely embarrassing, and honestly, at this point, he has to be hurting his own project here. He has to be hurting the conservative movement. If there is one person you can point to show you how empty conservative ideology is right now, it's Dave Rubin. He's got nothing to work with. Now, let me give you some responses here. First, because I've only watched the first Matrix movie, I have no idea about Neo. I don't know. But from this person here, Philip Cortez, tweets out, Neo totally didn't get trained or had help from anyone when he became the one. So I believe this is Morpheus here. So, look. You know Matrix more than I do. I have no idea. But I assume, based on this, that Neo did not do it alone. But moving on. This was a great one. This from a little retweet as a treat. Says, that's why the first book is called The Individual of the Ring. Unbelievable. This here from Defund the Police. Isn't there literally a scene in the first Lord of the Rings where Frodo doesn't want the responsibility of the ring and just kind of is forced to take it? Yes, there is. And Philip here, Philip Raymond replies saying, most importantly to me is that Sam has to carry him to get to the very end. He cannot take the burden away from Frodo and just do it himself. He has to overcome corruption by letting Frodo struggle with his own mental burden while Sam struggled with the physical burden. The Fellowship of the Ring should tell you all you need to know about Lord of the Rings, which, by the way, I'm outing myself here. I only watched them all recently, in the past year or so. Great movies. Great movies. Definitely not about the individual. Now, this last one here, this from Pistol PR. Quote, Luke Skywalker didn't look for someone else to blow up the Death Star. Except, of course, all the other X-Wing fighters who were with him and the two who attempted right before he did. Has he even seen the movie? And this is true, and not even just true about Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. A lot of movies are about community, about solidarity, about being able to rely on the people around you. It's kind of what life is about. If you just go through life alone, it's kind of lonely. And it's, you know, I'm sure there are instances where people are able to succeed if they just rely on themselves. But even in those cases, they're still driving on public roads. They're still taking public transportation. They still, at least in Canada, have healthcare. So, look, we should really begin to understand, if we don't already, we, as I'm not sure I'm speaking for here, but we, the audience, we should begin to understand that we have to rely on those around us to be able to succeed in life. And you can't just go at it alone. And you shouldn't just go at it alone. You can try, sure, but how enjoyable is life really if you just do it on your own? I mean, Dave Rubin, his entire show, he has a whole, like, if anybody should be making this argument, it should be me. Because I do this show largely alone. I rely on people in my life for emotional support, and I have a new podcast out, by the way. Check it on SoundCloud. I'll link to it below. That I do have a co-host. But my show, I shoot this myself. I research this myself. I do all this myself. That said, of course, I rely on people in my life. But Dave Rubin, his entire show, he has a whole crew that does everything for him, that shoots the show behind the cameras, does the editing. He has that kind of, you know, he has billionaire backers that help him. That's why he's able to do that. But he has that money to help these people or help him to create this show. But the argument that he continues attempting to make is that it is about the individual. It's about the individual. When clearly, it's just not the case.